Hi, welcome to Sue Maree P. My name's Sue and today I'm sharing a classic crunchy Swedish cookie called bondkaka. It's so simple, you probably have all the ingredients in your cupboard already, so let's get mixing. The first step is grab some flour and measure it out. I've got 150 grams of white spelt flour in this bowl, and into that I'm putting half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. And this recipe will make something around 35 cookies, just depending on how big you make them. So I've done this a few times, and this recipe is from one of the supermarket websites here, but I've swapped out the regular flour for spelt flour, and they make it with 80 grams of caster sugar, not caster sugar, 80 grams of powdered sugar, but I have also made it with caster sugar or white sugar. So mix that in as well. In here I've got some chopped almonds. That's 50 grams or almost a third of a cup. The original recipe only had 30 grams, but I bought a whole packet, so I thought I'll just use them because I like extra nuts. And we need to add the butter, but the butter's been chilling, so I'm just going to grab it out. So the recipe I had didn't specify whether you needed chilled butter or not, but because I'm making like a dough, I thought chilled butter would be better. So I've already finely slithered it into little pieces, like when you're making pastry. So that's 100 grams, which is about 3/4 of a cup. So I'm just adding all that in. And we're going to bring it together with a wooden spoon or with your hands. And then we need to add a little bit of moisture. So there's a syrup here called luja syrup, which is like a golden syrup. They don't sell golden syrup here. And we just need half a tablespoon of that. Or you can swap that out for honey or maple syrup or leave it out. But it just adds that extra little dimension. And just 1 teaspoon of just water. So we've got some water in this little jug here. So just add 1 teaspoon. I love using these spatulas. I'm just going to bring it together with the spatula. But because my butter is chilled, I'm going to have to go in with my hands. If you've got a food processor and you want to save time, you could probably do it in a food processor. I just haven't tried that yet. And you need to cut a couple of pieces of plastic wrap on standby before you start making it, because we need to divide this dough into 2 pieces, 2 kind of 3 centimetre long sausages, and then we chill the dough in the fridge for about an hour. This is the kind of dough that you can make the dough and pop it in the fridge for up to about 5 days and just cut it and slice it. Slice it and bake it as you need it, or you could also freeze it for a rainy day. And bring it out and defrost it in the fridge, ready to make cookies. I'll speed this up for the camera or for the video so you don't have to sit through me kneading all this butter. So I hope you had fun watching me do that very fast with the video sped up. It's almost formed the dough, which is fantastic. I'm just using my spatula to go in to make sure there's no flour down the bottom. I used to not like that process, but I'm finding it quite therapeutic now. If I just kind of do it little by little and enjoy it, it's quite good. So I'm going to form my dough. Just going to clean my space and do the next step. Okay, my space is cleaned, so I've got my long dough sausage. Just grab the extra bit out of the bottom of the bowl. Now we need to shape this into about a 3 centimetre log, and I'm just going to grab my measuring ruler to make sure I get 3 centimetres. So that's 3 centimetres in diameter, which is about that much, if you can see. So let's try and get a log about 3 centimetres. Just mould it together with your hands. And it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. We're not a bakery, we're just home bakers doing something for fun because we want to eat it and share it with friends and family. And the dough might start cracking as you're doing it, but just try and mould it together. Okay, what I find is easier is pop it in the plastic and then you can kind of roll it into shape in the plastic and that helps keep it together. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good disc. I'm going to continue doing the other one, speed it up. Chilling these for an hour. So it's been an hour and our cookie dough is quite hard and ready to chop. 30 minutes ago, I popped my oven onto 180 degrees with a fan. If you don't have a fan, pop it onto 200 degrees. That is 350 Fahrenheit or 400 degrees. So I'm going to cut 1/2 centimetre thick cookies, and these don't need to be perfect. So I've just got my little Victorinox sharp knife. And if you notice, I've just noticed the first one I did, it's got like a little small crack in the middle. It should be fine once it bakes because they'll melt and spread out a little bit. So when you're popping them on your little baking tray here, make sure they're nicely spread. Nicely spread. They're placed apart, so in case they spread. This might look opposite to what you do because I'm left-handed, so it always looks back to front. And at the moment my camera is still not working, so I'm using my phone, and I've flicked my phone screen around so I can see what I'm doing. So that means everything in my kitchen's reversed. So if you're wondering why things are different to my introduction video showing my new kitchen, that's why. I'm going to not overfill this tray. So I've only placed on, what's that for? I've only put 8 little cookies there. I'm going to bake these in my warm oven for about 5 to 7 minutes. Keep an eye on them because they do get golden brown quite quickly and we don't want to overbake them. And then I'll keep chopping these and placing them and bake them, and then we'll come back and do a taste test. So our cookies are all baked and I've had them cooling. When they first come out of the oven, they're still a little bit soft in the centre, and that's perfect because they'll keep cooking on the hot tray. So leave them on the warm tray for about 10 minutes and then move them onto the wire rack. Mine are a bit thinner than probably some other ones you've seen, but I love them like this. So let's do a taste test. This one is one I rolled up because the end bit looked a bit funny. Buttery, sugary goodness. So simple yet tasty. So they're golden and crunchy. Be careful not to overcook them. They're better slightly lighter golden than dark. These are delicious. Thank you, Sweden. This is a great cookie. It's a perfect one to just whip up and have the dough sitting and waiting in the fridge or the freezer, and then you can bake fresh cookies whenever you have a craving. Let me know in the comments below if you like this kind of cookie, and I'll pop a few other Swedish recipes up above. Thanks for watching. If you've visited for the first time, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.